Welcome to my channel Health for You. How to conceive a girl? 9 tips to conceive a baby girl. Does your heart melt every time you see a teeny tiny pink flurry tutu? Of course it does. That's why you are here. You are wondering how to conceive a girl. In truth, there is no way to naturally determine the sex of your baby. There are two scientific methods that claim some degree of success for gender selection, but these methods are contradictory in nature and may not work for you. Of course, the most important thing is a healthy baby. How to conceive a girl? If you want to try to conceive a girl, here are 9 tips. How to conceive a girl tip: the Schittels method. This method has been around since the 1960s and claims a 75% success rate for couples hoping to conceive a girl. Dr. Schittels believed that the most important factor in gender determination was timing. The baby's gender is determined by the chromosome carrying sperm. Boys' sperm swim faster but survive for shorter periods of time than their female producing counterparts. Girls' sperm are stronger and more resilient, yet swim slower than boys' sperm. According to the Schittels method, you should have sex 2 to 4 days before ovulation if you are hoping to conceive a girl. By the time ovulation occurs, only the girl's sperm should be left to fertilize the egg. Dr. Schittels advises that if you wish to conceive a girl, you should avoid intercourse when you have clear egg yolk like vaginal mucus, as this is a sure sign of ovulation. It should be noted, however, that avoiding intercourse during this time can reduce your likelihood of conceiving at all. How to conceive a girl tip: the Whelan method. The other commonly used method was created by Dr. Whelan and claims a 57% success rate for couples who wish to conceive a girl. Dr. Whelan's theory has slightly different timings than have to a girl. She advises you to have sex 2 to 3 days before ovulation. For a boy, she suggests 4 to 6 days pre-ovulation to be the peak time. The Whelan and Schittels method are contradictory, and both have cheerleaders claiming success, but it is difficult to judge whether these successes were truly a result of the method or simply that the outcome remained the same regardless of the method used. There is a limited amount of research in existence to support the two methods above. For the advice below, however, the proof is even harder to come by. The following factors are often cited by couples claiming to have successfully determined their baby's sex, but there is no scientific proof to back up these statements. The following factors may in fact just be myths circulating of how to conceive a girl. How to conceive a girl tip: make it your mission. To conceive a boy, deep penetration is key, but for a girl, the opposite is true. Having sex in the missionary position is said to increase your chance of conceiving a girl because it limits the depth of penetration. The cistern restricts how close to the cervix the sperm are ejaculated. Boys' sperm swim very fast for short periods, so by preventing deep penetration, you may be able to prevent the boy's sperm from reaching and fertilizing the egg. How to conceive a girl tip: no orgasm. It is also claimed that avoiding orgasm may be the key of conceiving a girl. The female orgasm releases an alkaline secretion which may help boy's sperm to survive longer by creating a less hostile environment. Without these secretions, boy's sperm may find it harder to survive and have less chance of reaching the egg. How to conceive a girl tip: more sex. Rather than restricting your sex life to specific times when trying for a girl, you should aim to have more sex in the days leading up to your key conception time. You should have as much sex as possible. This will reduce your partner's sperm count and mean there are less fast swimming boy sperm available to join the race for fertilization. How to conceive a girl tip: veg out. According to one study, eating more fruit and vegetables can improve your chances of conceiving a girl. Some people believe a vegetarian diet can help you to conceive a girl, especially if you eat foods such as spinach, nuts, and broccoli. Foods naturally high in calcium and magnesium, such as leafy greens, fruits, and rice, are also said to be good for conceiving girls. How to conceive a girl tip: acidic house. Another food related tip is to eat acidic foods in the days leading up to ovulation. Male sperm are less able to survive in acidic environments, and eating acidic foods can actually alter the pH of your vagina. However, bear in mind that it's actually unhealthy for your body to be in acidic state. If you still want to try, stock up on soda, vinegar, and chocolate. Some people believe you should also avoid eating alkaline foods such as apples, almonds, cucumbers, and avocado, all very important foods nutritionally in the run up to ovulation. Have a healthy baby and enough fluid in your body to avoid neural tube defects should be more important. How to conceive a girl tip: low salt. A low salt diet, as well as being healthier, is also said to improve your chances of conceiving a girl. Try cutting out salted meals, olives, blue cheese, and processed food while you are trying to conceive. You should also restrict the amount of salt used during cooking, a skill that will be useful during pregnancy too. How to conceive a girl tip: bath time. Some people believe that boys' sperm are heat-averse, and so having a bath prior to sex may help to weaken the male sperm awaiting release. A soak in a hot tub would work just as well too. For most couples, the most important factor for conception is achieving a healthy baby. If you long for a girl, you can try the above methods, but remember, there is little to no scientific evidence for most. While there may be plenty of anecdotal evidence about this, doesn't necessarily mean that will work for you. Some of them, particularly the timing methods, may actually reduce your chances of conception. How to conceive a baby girl naturally. There is no natural method that can guarantee you will conceive a baby girl. Women always carry the X chromosome in their eggs. Men carry both X-bearing female and Y-bearing male sperm. When X-bearing sperm penetrate the egg, the baby is a girl. If the Y-bearing sperm penetrate the egg, the baby is a boy. The books How to Choose the Sex of Your Baby by Dr. Landrum B. Shuttles and The Preconception Gender Diet by Sally Ganidon explain how you can make your body a more favorable environment for X chromosome sperm, thus increasing your chances of conceiving a daughter. Step 1. Identify when you ovulate. Mark your calendar when you begin your menstrual cycle each month so you can see how long your cycles are. Count from the first day of your last period to the first day of your current period for a few months to determine your cycle length. Purchase an ovulation predictor kit and use it about halfway between your cycles to determine exactly which days are your most fertile. Step 2. Have intercourse 2 or 3 days before you know evolution will occur to allow the quicker swimming but faster dying Y chromosome male sperm to die off. Do not have sex again until after evolution, since X chromosome female sperm are slower but live longer. They will now have a chance to make it to the egg. Step 3. Doche with water and vinegar immediately before intercourse to create a more acidic environment, which favors female sperm. Use 4 parts water to 1 part vinegar. Have your partner take a hot bath immediately before intercourse to give the experienced sperms an advantage. Step 4. Avoid having an orgasm. To keep the vagina more acidic, as experienced sperm prefer an acidic environment, avoid sexual positions that involve deep penetration, since the female sperm can make a long journey to the egg more easily than male sperm who die quickly. Try missionary position with shallow penetration strategy to deposit sperm far from the cervical entrance. Step 5. Go on a diet that will alter your body's pH and influence your cervical mucus, thus making a more hospitable environment for female sperm and a less welcoming diet for the male sperm. Eat foods high in calcium like milk, yogurt, cheese, collard greens, broccoli and beans. Include plenty of foods that are high in magnesium like artichokes, barley, almonds and spinach. Avoid foods that are high in sodium and potassium, as these will have a direct influence on the cervical mucus in the female. It is thought that cervical mucus is alkaline and the diet can influence the ability of the swimming sperm and fertilization. If the food a woman eats reaches her cervical mucus, it is believed that it can help select the gender of an infant at the time of conception, though more studies are needed to provide a better understanding of the process. Tips: if you don't wish to invest in evolution tests, try predicting your most fertile days by changes in your cervical mucus and a higher basal body temperature. Warnings: remember that these methods can be fun to try and may increase your odds, but there is no natural method that will guarantee a daughter.